Record the session. Hi, very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in, and there are still more people coming in. Anyway, it's okay. We'll let them come in. Now, I'm going to start on time. Right now, it's 9 a.m., and hopefully, we will end this by 1 a.m. on time. Okay, so my name is Kelvin. I'm the trainer for this particular Excel for real work. If you look, I put the title here, correct? Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the flow of the session from now until about 1 o'clock. So I'm going to start off with something called the understanding the messy real life data. Now we have all this. Okay. This screen. Wait, what is this screen? Let me decline the request to turn on transcription. Okay, never mind. Now, sorry about the interruption. Suddenly just pop up on my screen. Now, understanding the messy data in real life data. So the real life data that you're having. So we'll look at if any of this data resonate to you, or yours could be even more severe. So we'll look into that. But before we even look into that, we'll look at some basics that I want you guys to have. If you have not watched the 6 video that I have given to you, that's fine. I'm going to repeat a little bit of that in the data type. But if you have watched, you will notice that it is very important. So can I see in the chat how many of you actually watched the 6 video that I have given you? Can I put a yes if you have not? If you have not, then you put a no. Okay, at least yes, good. Okay, Joey, yes. Samra, no. Just watch one, okay. No, no, no. There are many of you who did not watch. Now that's perfectly fine one. I just want to get you guys ready for it. But you can watch it later. Lah. You can watch it later as well. It will be there. It's just a YouTube link, so you just watch. Lah. Now, the second part of the course here is we're going to talk about how are we going to use Power Query to do the cleansing. How do we clean up the messy data that I show you? How do we clean it up? We're going to learn how to load data and we do some data transformation. Now, the moment our data is ready, then we will output it and then we will make sure that it is ready for you to use pivot table. Right? So pivot table is the reporting tools that you're going to use. And you're going to make it interactive using the slicer. So these are the 4 items that I'm going to talk about, or 5 items that I'm going to talk about during this session. Right? So if any one of you here who are already well versed with it, stay tuned. You might pick up some new things. Now, if possible, you also share how you actually use it in the chat. Right? So yeah, please share with everybody your knowledge. Now, sharing is caring, right? So please do that. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, if you have followed through my what do you call it? If you have followed through the message that I have sent you guys, now there are few files that I want you to download into your desktop before you can use it because we are dealing with Power Query. You don't go into my Google Drive and start messing around with my Google Drive files. Make a copy and put it into your desktop. Just like me, this is actually in my desktop file. Now, if you say, no, I haven't done this yet, never mind. I'm going to give it to you in the Zoom chat as I speak. So these are the 3 files which I have just loaded in. If you have not listened or shall I say read any of the email or participated in the WhatsApp group, that means you have not downloaded it. Please download these 3 files so that you can follow me during the session, all right? So please do that. Okay, so I'm going to open up the first file. Okay, so So for those of you who just came in, for those of you who just got in, we are about to start. So if you have downloaded the files, please open up file number one. I have named the file as one, two, and three. So please download them. If you have any problem getting the file, please put it in the chat. And can you please uh, direct WhatsApp it to my assistant email? She will send it to you. Okay, so Marcus, I have the PowerPoint, but I can't view it in Google. Now, don't open it in Google. Like I said, download the file to your desktop. If you double click it from the Google Drive, it will go to Google Slide. It doesn't go to PowerPoint. So what I want you to do is download everything, download all the four files inside that Google Drive into your desktop. Now, the slide tak payah lah. It's just the three file that you're going to use. Huh? Okay, let's begin. So after you open the file, it will look like this. Okay, it will look like this. Now there are a couple of worksheets down here. Right, there are a couple of worksheets down here. So can you please move to the first one? When you open, I guess they go to the file called the worksheet called report. You go back to the first one. If you are having trouble like not having the grid line, don't have the header, just go to view and turn on the grid line, turn on the heading. Now I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. I want you to get a hang of it in my instruction. So go to the view. Ah, I will be showing you arrows and boxes on the screen so that you can follow through. Go to the view. Make sure you turn on the grid line. Make sure you turn on the heading. If your screen is not showing this, turn it on. Right. Then you have your heading. You have your row. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now let's begin. Let's begin. Now I will talk about the data type. Okay, I'll talk about the data type. In Excel, if you actually look up in your ChatGPT or you Google it or you actually use your Copilot, you use your Gemini, Claude, you will notice that they will tell you when you say Excel data type, they will show you a long list of it. But I want you to pay attention to these two, text, number. Now I'm going to go something simple at the beginning, and as we progress, it's going to be very intense. So I need you to have a common understanding at the bottom first. So here, when we talk about data type called text and number, assuming I put here 4,000. So if I put 4,000 now, whether you like it or not, when you press enter, it goes to the right. So what happened? Why did it go to the right? Now, I did not format this particular cell. See, this one is go to the right, but I didn't format it. Either way, I didn't make it left, center, right. I didn't use any existing number data type. Therefore, by default, Excel will push the number to the right. I repeat, it will push the number to the right. Now, if I come in here and type in something called Excel, so when I press enter, the word Excel stay on the left. So I just need you to know that this is how Excel recognize or you can recognize whether the data that you're having, is it a number or is it not a number by just showing this. So remember, general versus the alignment. If there is no such thing called alignment, there is no such thing called formatting, this will be the default. So if you want to really, really confirm that whether this is a number or not, then you ask Excel. You simply just ask is number and you point to the cell. So the question is something like this. Excel, can you tell me whether E2 is a number? So when you press enter, they'll tell you true, yes. Excel will answer true for yes, false for no. So if I copy this formula down, then it says false because Excel is not a number. You guys understand? So when Excel is not a number, it says not a number. Now, let me show you the formula again. Now, to see the formula inside the particular cell, you just have to use the word formula text, F2. F2, which is the formula I wrote just now. So I wrote this, is number. Okay, so how do you check the formula inside the cell? You type equals to formula text, and then you point to the cell that contains formula. So I'm showing you some notes here. Now, later I will be saving this file and I'll put it into the WhatsApp group. So don't worry, you can check the formula later. Okay, so now we have true and false. So this is all very basic, right? Very basic. Now, what happened if you put in here apostrophe 3000? So this particular cell, then it's a number. And we all can see with our own eye it's a number. However, it stays on the left. Because the short cut that I'm using is I use a apostrophe sign, then I follow by 3000. Now I can do this. Let me just remove this. I can always change this one to text, change the format of this cell to text, and I type there 3000. There you go. So what happened now is on the left. It is the same thing lah. So how is this going to affect us? Now let's check whether this is number or not. No, it's not a number. Although in the cell, it looks like 3000, but it is not actually a number. So how will this affect our report later? Now, I'm sure all of you here knows what is auto sum is. Okay, now I'm going a little bit fast. If you need me to slow down, you let me know. So I click this auto sum. So now you notice they detected the range E2 to E5. So can you give a wild guess? Put inside the chat. What do you think is the answer? I'm going to press enter after you would. So we have Moon saying it's 4,000. Wanda is 4,000. Some people say error, right? 4,000. Okay, so when I press enter, yeah, you're right. It's 4,000. They will ignore the 3,000. So this function, okay, let me just put there equal to is, not is, formula text. So the formula sum will not entertain any other value other than number. They only look for number and they sum. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of confusion here. I'm going to use this method equals to 4,000 plus, no, plus Excel. What do you think is the answer? Continue to type in the chat. Now we have team says error. Yeah, NASA also say error. Yeah, good, good. So yeah, we're gonna get error. So remember this, Excel doesn't know how to perform algebra. Algebra equation is out of their league. They don't do that. Right? Now, what do you think is the answer if I do this? 4,000 I plus with this 3,000. Come, type in the chat. What do you think is the answer this time? Still error? Some say 7,000, some say 7,000. Okay, so if I press enter, you will notice now it's 7,000. Even though it's on the left, but they will add it up. So let me just show you the formula. If I copy this one down. Okay, so I say equal to formula text of this cell. So these are the formula. So they are doing mathematical equation. So when you are working with the mathematical equation, they will not bother about the data type. Now they focus on what's inside the cell. So it's just like your calculator, right? They don't actually care whether you have number or what, they just calculate them. Now, as soon as I put a here,
Yeah.
then I'll get error. Okay, so they do not work with algebra, remember? They only work with number. Okay, so just get the understanding right. So how you actually can check is by using the is number, whether they are number or not, and so on. Okay, so that is some data type. Now, why I start with data type? Because in Excel, right, what is most frustrating is when we write the formula, we are so confident, and all of a sudden we get error. Okay, we get error, and you need to know the fundamental reason why the error appear. So data type is one of those things that you must understand. Now, number two, there is no error, but you know the value is wrong. You look at this, you thought you have it all right, sum, everything, but then again, you are not getting the answer correctly. Now, this is because some of the data that you download from your system, they appear on the left, especially when you are exporting the data out as a CSV file or a text file, you might have this problem, right? Therefore, you need to do some due diligence to check whether or not the information you're looking at is number or are they text. If you're going to perform a reporting, like you want to aggregate certain numbers and so on, make sure they are number. Otherwise, it won't work. Get get used to this. Now, I'm going to remove all this now. No, I'm not going to remove. Sorry, I told you I'm going to save it and give it to you, right? Now, I'm going to do something down here. See, this is about date. So, if I want to know, right, can you guys type in the chat? What do you think? Is date, tarikh, date, is consider text or is it a number? Okay, Marcus says a number. Muhammad Hafiz says a text. We have a mixed answer here. Mostly says number. Some say text. It's okay, right? Don't worry. We get it right this time, huh? Now I want you to try this. I'm not going to ask you to type a date, but I'm going to ask you to use a keyboard shortcut. Can you try to press Control and then hold down your Control? Like the combination of the key is Control with semicolon. Okay, the symbol that I show you is called the semicolon. The semicolon. So hold down your Control and press semicolon. So Control, then you press semicolon. You're going to get today's date. Today is the 18th of March 2026. So when you press enter, it goes to the right. So most of you here says number, you are right. For those who say you are text, now I think you are mistaken because of the slash, right? But anyway, if I click on this cell now, if I click on this cell, if you look up here in the formatting, it's automatically formatted to date. So if this is not formatted to date, you will not see the slash, right? So if I change this one to general, it's actually a number. So all of you who said number is correct. Okay, all of it is correct. So this is the running number. So if I, like Amir said, it's a running number. So I'm just going to go for a long date. I'm going to do this equals to this cell, and I only change this one to general. I just want to show it to you. Today, 18th of March 2026, the number is 46099. Okay, so if I want to know why is it 460199, it's because Excel start counting from 1st January 1900. So that's number one. So 2nd of January 1900, that's number two. Okay, so until today, 18th of March 2026, we have passed 46,099 days since 1st January. Okay? Now, the second information that you should watch out when you press this control semicolon is, how does the date appear? How did your date appear? So in this case, I'm using D for day, M then year. You notice that it's day followed by month followed by year. Okay, so this is the day, this is the month, this is the year. So day, month, and year. Now, some of your computer, when you press the control semicolon, you get 3/18, which means your computer is using month followed by day followed by year. So this control semicolon will help you to check whether how you should type the date in your computer, in your Excel at least. You don't type in the wrong style because the wrong style will give you error. For example, you see this is a number. If I type it the wrong way, I put there 3/18/2026. When I press enter, it says the same, but it didn't show me the number. And they are on the left, which means Excel doesn't recognize this as date. Date is a number, but when they go to the left, that means this is not a number. Okay? In the first place, in our calendar, we only have until number 12 for month, but this is 18. So my computer reads day, month, year, and the month says 18. Therefore, they do not know how to actually convert it into a date. Okay, so they give you something else. They give you a date. So do not type the date as you wish. Make sure you understand your computer whether they are day, month, year, or Monday, year. Now, this problem can be resolved in Power Query later. However, what I'm trying to tell you now is if your date is wrong, when you generate a report, you won't get the answer. You'll get error. Okay, because it's not even a date. Okay, so remember to press the control semicolon to check first before you start. All right. Okay, so far? Yes, you are right, Shalini. It's the US calendar. US calendar is Monday year. The UK calendar is day, month, year. The Malaysia calendar is day, month, year. So you can choose English UK, English US, or English Malay, Malaysia lah. Mm. Of course, you can change the format. Now, to change the format, you need to click the start. You go to control panel, right? Control panel. So inside your control panel, you go to this clock and region, clock and region. So under the clock and region, you just go to region. That's where you choose. That's where you choose the format. So my computer is using English United Kingdom. You can change it over here. Just scroll up a little bit here. So you have United Kingdom, you have United States. Okay, now for those of you who are using the company laptop, I caution you first, don't simply change this. Get the permission from your IT guys in the office. That might disrupt your work with other systems. So be caution, don't simply change. There must be a reason why you are using that particular setting. But if this is your personal computer, you have to adapt to it, whether or not you want to change to UK or US. Okay, so if I change it over here, you take a look. I'm using UK, so it's day followed by month followed by year. But the moment I change it to US, it will be month followed by day followed by year. Okay, so it's all up to you. Which format do you want to use? So I'm going to cancel this. So I hope I answer your question, Shakti. That's because of the format. Okay, that's format. Now we are coming to that. Marcus, take a look. Now, if you go to the control panel just now, you see mine is DD, MM, Y, right? Now, we can always format them. Now, let me just press this. So let's do something that what Marcus is saying. If you look into the chat, in our Zoom chat, Marcus says that his is actually 18-March-2026. So let's say I want to follow how it appear for Marcus, right? So earlier, I told you that under the control panel, under the region, so that's where the short date looks like. Okay, you can actually change them by going to something called the additional setting. You go to the date and you change it from here. So that's how your computer is showing. And by the way, I think there are some that you can use, but mine don't have. Okay, so I'm not going to use any of those. Okay, I'm not going to use any of those. Did I close it? No, I didn't close it. And so I'm not going to use any of this. Now, what I'm going to do is, instead of changing it in my control panel, I will change it in my Excel. I just leave my Excel as a normal, like this. So I right click, I go to Format Cell. So can everyone please go to B11, put in today's date, control semicolon. Then you right click this, go to Format Cell. Now, this is where you can go into the custom. Now, for those of you who have already watched the video, you will already know some of this. But if for you, because many of you say no just now, that's why I'm going through this with you. So you can decide how you want your date to look like. So let's do some experiment here. If I go to the Format Cell Custom I can decide how I want it to appear. Now, I remove them so it looks like 46099. You've seen the number earlier, there, 46099. So if I experiment it with one single D, I get 18. 2D is also 18. Now, let's just say today is the 8th, not 18, but 8. So if I put a single D, I'll get 8. 2D, I'll get 8, 0, 8. But since today is already 18, then whether it's one digit or two digit, it doesn't make a difference. So I'm just going to start with 1D only lah, right? Then I'm going to put M. Now, according to Marcus one, it comes with a dash. So I'm going to put a dash. Then I put M. Now, 1M is 3, 2M is 03. So according to what Marcus Lu put there is a short name for the month. So I'm going to put 3M. If I want a full name, I put 4M. But of course, I want to follow what Marcus has. So I'm going to put 3M, dash again, and I'm going to put Y, 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 Y. So the date that I'm having now looks exactly like what Marcus had. So if I hit OK, let me just put this guy, copy. And this is what Marcus had. And I'm using this. So let's just say today is the 4th of September 2026. You will notice that they will say 4 SEP. They will change according to the formatting. Okay? So if I want to give even more detail to this, I will just add on over here. I put a comma, right? I put D, 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 D. So if I put D, 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 enter, then I have Friday. Okay. 1D, 2D, you get digit. 3D, you get the day of the week. 3D gives you short name, but 4D gives you full name. So what I did just now was I put a comma, D, 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 D. Therefore, I have the word Friday here. Any questions? No, Marcus? Yeah. You can either change this format in your control panel or you change it in your Excel. So if you do not want to disturb your computer date and time, don't do it, but you can change it in your Excel for your reporting purpose. Huh? Right. Now, if you don't have any question, I have a question for all of you. Okay. Can you tell me, now this is something personal, but then it's okay. You do it on your laptop, then you tell me. Okay. Which day were you born? Was it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, Sunday? Which day were you born? So all you need to do is just put in your birth date here, and you will notice the day where you and your mom is in the labor room, and you come out to the world for the first time. So we have Friday, Sunday, Sunday, Friday, Friday. Now you put your birth date, you will get it already. Yeah, Friday. So a lot of you are Friday, huh? Some are Thursday or Monday. Uh, anyone here Wednesday? So Varida, so happy birthday tomorrow, huh? Ah, Moon, happy birthday to you. Siwui, no Amira, no Adiba. Yeah, for those of you Wednesday baby, happy birthday to you. We celebrate birthday every week now, huh? We don't celebrate every year. So just buy yourself a small cupcake and then you blow your candle. A smaller candle, huh? Okay. So that can be something very personal. Now, as for work, for your real work, if you are actually doing this for project management, you have timeline, you have your uh, date and time that you need to find out. Date. When will this particular project complete? You have your milestone. So if you put your milestone in, you know what day they falls on. Okay? So because date is a number, then I can actually perform equation, right? So let's just say, now I'm just going to do it. It's a bit crowded here, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So if I have a project starting today and I need to complete it within 100 days, so I will just take the date and I will just plus 100. Now, because date is a number, Therefore, I can see that it's a date. Okay, so what happened is they take the 46099 plus 100 become 46199. Okay, so if you are preparing for your project, you have a deadline to meet. You need to set a few milestones before the finishing the project date. Then this particular format is useful for you because you can monitor what day they are on. If that milestone you put in is a Sunday, then you need to adjust the date either 2 days earlier or 1 day after. You have to adjust the date accordingly. So you don't need to look into the calendar for that. Okay, so this is a little bit of data that I need all of you to know lah. Okay, so a little bit of formatting. Now, for those of you who does a lot of report, okay, so for example, you want to build dashboard. You have this number with you. Okay, so you do this like this. You do things like this. You merge the cell, you wrap it, then you put in the center. You say that equal to this cell. Now, the problem is, right? The problem is this number is way too long. You don't want it to appear like this. You want it to be in the center. You already put in the center, but it didn't work. So you have to change this to number, and you have to increase the decimal. Oops, not decimal. You have to put in go to the format cell. You tell them you want to have 1,000 separator. There you go. So something like that. However, okay, maybe okay, let me just put this one. Sales revenue. So this is your dashboard title, sales revenue, and you put a border around it. Okay, you put a border around it. So this is your sales revenue, and you put it in red color. So now you want to present this, but you do not want to present this in this number of character. There are 13 number of character here. So I don't want it to be such a long number. Therefore, I will go into this right click for myself. Now, for those of you who have watched the video, this is actually a repeat. So what I'm going to do is I want my answer to be the nearest million with one decimal place. So I go into this and I remove one decimal place, so I remove the zero. Then I put comma, comma. I type an M there. Okay, let me just copy this and put it outside. So I put the formatting up here. This is the formatting I'm using. Okay. So to further understand, please watch the video that I have sent to you guys, the 6 video, just watch it. Now I can make this one bigger. So if you have a dashboard, you can present it like this. You can't make it any bigger if the number is this long. So you round it up to the nearest million. Okay, so right click, go to format cell and type in this format. Okay, type in a format. So let me just copy and paste this into the chat. Yes, Tiong, you say format date, the calculation start from 1900. Is there any reason for that? Now that's because of the Y2K lah. Now before year 2000, all the date format in the world, all the computer, they only have 2 digits for year. So when it comes to 98, 99, then the following year is 00. Now that will disrupt the system. Therefore, a few years before the year 2000, right, all the developer in the world has come up with a decision that they are going to turn the date system into 4-digit year. So they have to start somewhere. Guess where they start? They start at 1900. So if you have any records that is way before 1900, it's not a date. Excel will not recognize that. Okay, so bad news for the what do you call that? The historian, those people who have history and they type in the date, so it will not be a date. Right? Too bad, huh? Tiong, I hope I answer your question. It's actually the Y2K bug. Now, maybe I'm not sure how old are you, but if you are very young, you might have not heard of Y2K, but that's fine. Just remember that the previous old method of date is 2 digit for year. So they convert it into 4 digit for year. They have to start at 1900. Okay. All right. So now you know you can actually build your dashboard with formatting that you want. So you know how to do it for date, you know how to do it for your numbers as well. Okay. So some of you says, why don't we use MIL? Okay, so MIL. Can. Up to you. So if you change it to MIL, okay, let me just format this guy. So I change it to MIL here. Then you have MIL. Okay. Now I seldom use MIL lah. I don't not in favor for using MIL. So I always use M. You guys want to know why? You guys want to know why? Because MIL reminds me of mother-in-law. So I don't want anything to remind me of that. So okay, so nothing related to work, but very personal. Now, Turan mentions that you type the date and 100, and then the date comes up as Monday. Now that's depending on the formatting, lah. And that depends on the formatting. So if you can format it any way you want, right? Okay, so I just gave you a little bit of idea how you can understand the data type. So only number, I repeat, only when the cell is a number, you can perform all this number formatting. What I show you here, date and the number, both of these are number formatting. Remember when we go to this format cell, okay, and I click here, these are all for the number formatting. If you look carefully, number. If the cell is not a number, there's nothing much you can do here. Okay, so they are very biased. As long as you are number, you are my clan. If you are not number, sorry, I can't help you. So the text formatting are all out here. They have a bigger chunk of area here, but they can co-share some of the formatting with the number. But for number, it's only valid if your cell is a number. Got it? All right, there are a lot more to discuss. If you actually watch the video 1 to 6, you will notice that I summarize everything here in just about 20 minutes plus to talk about all this. So you go watch the video for better insights, better elaborated explanation. All right. Now let's go into the data that you commonly see in the real world, right? So we got this downloaded data. I have a worksheet here called downloaded data, downloaded sales data. I have another one called consolidated range and reports. Okay, so this is how they look like. Now, sometimes when you download from a system, you thought you have everything in place. However, right, it doesn't may not be the case. Wait, Marcus, okay, done. Okay, so this may not be the case. So this is not something ready for reporting. Okay, so how we read this is, okay, we have the first column here called the country. So this customer, Cactus Cornidas, the company name is from Argentina. The salesperson is Patricio Simpson. Okay, this has nothing to do with the Simpson, but this is Patricio Simpson. And the order ID is 10521. Okay, and this Patricio bought it on the 29th of April 1997. Now, this is a very old data. So what did they buy? They bought these three items. Then they buy again on the 17th December. Then they buy again on the 7th of January, 11th of February, 10th of February, 28th of February. And these are the items that they buy for each time they visited the store and Patricio buying them. Okay. Now in Argentina, we have another set of customer, Yvonne, and this is what Yvonne buy, and followed by Sergio. Now the question is, how can we turn this into a report? How do I know what is the total sales in Argentina? Okay, we have the unit price, we have the quantity, we have the discount. You notice that if I give you this set of data, you have lots of things to do before you can use it for your reporting. There are so many empty cells here, which your Excel doesn't know how to read. So a lot of people just go crazy looking at this. Okay, so now for your information, there are altogether quite a huge data actually. It has 2,533 rows. No, 2,538 rows, right, altogether. So are you going to spend your time cleaning up the data manually? No, please do not do that. After today's class, I want you to use the right method to do this. Okay. So I'm just showing you the data now. We will clean up the data shortly. I have another one here called consolidated range, right? Consolidated range. Now, many people get this kind of data. It's either from their subordinate or from their vendor or from their principal or from their other branch. Now, they get this kind of thing. So every year they come up with this. Now, your job is to analyze this so that you can make good business decision. Which year is better? Is it 2013, 2014, or 2015? Which year is better? And which month actually did very well for each of the year? Now, it looks like, wow, a bit complicated for us to generate this report now, correct? So we are going to learn how are we going to convert data in such using Power Query to turn it into a structural table. We're going to do that. Then we have reports. So we have, again, some kind of report like this. Now, all this can be done, right? Now, I give you this data. This is a 1 week data sales. And the final outcome of the structured report is one row of title on top with all the information below. So I have my outlet number 1001, and this is the outlet name. This is the quantity sold, and this is the sales amount. See, outlet number, outlet name, the quantity, and the sales amount. So can I know in the chat, how many of you know how to transform this data into this? Alda says you don't know. Okay, not too sure, right? Now, we'll see what we can do later. I'll give you a quick demonstration on how to do all this. All right, so let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's close this file for a start. Now I'm going to save this guy. Save as. So I'm going to put it into my folder. Now, this is where my folder is. I'm just going to put here as done. So I put there DONE done. I close. I don't want to overwrite my old file, so I just do that. So I'm going to take the done and put it inside the Zoom chat. For those of you who want the first worksheet that has all the item there. Okay, so I'm going to file number 2 now, data transformation using Power Query. So I'm going to do a quick introduction of Power Query to all of you. Okay. We are moving into the first hour of the training already. Does this look familiar? That is what I showed you just now, right? That's what I showed you just now. And I'm going to give you a quick way to solve this problem. So give a wild guess. How long does it take for you to clean up this data? Give a wild guess. How long will I take to clean up this data? 1 day? 10 seconds? Wow, 10 seconds. Okay, I'll try my best. 1 week? A month? Wow, that's very long. Now, if you take that long to complete this particular cleanup, you know what? If you are going to make a decision for this for your business based on this data, then imagine this is this particular range that I show you on my screen. You see the hand. Now this is the time frame that you should make the decision. But if you take longer than this time frame, then the decision window is over. When the decision window is over, whatever decision you make is already outdated. You might even lose money if you do that. Okay, so let's go into okay, let's go into this. How am I going to clean up? Right? So you notice this is the file. Now it's called number 2, data transformation using Power Query. I have a choice whether I want to do it inside this file or I want to do it from a clean file, a brand new file. So I'm going to show it to you using this file. And my second demo later, I will do it in a different file. Okay, so this is how the file look like. Now, I don't have to worry. I just click here. anywhere. Then I just go into data. Okay. I'm going to use something called Power Query. So it's inside your data ribbon up here. You have this thing called get and transform. So this is the Power Query. Okay. If you want to know the history of Power Query, you can actually just Google for it, or you can ask ChatGPT, explain to me, give me the history of Power Query. Then yeah, you can get all that. So because I have a very little time to do all this, I'll go straight to the point. Okay, so what Power Query do is that it help you to connect the data and transform them. So I'm not using Excel to clean up this data, but I'm using Power Query. So since I'm using from the same file, I will just tell them from table and range. Okay, so I will wait for you for a while. Have you opened up this file? File number 2? Yes, huh? So there are over 170 of you here. There are about 170 of you here. So, okay, good. Since you have that file, now go to the data ribbon and click this from table or range. From table or range. Huh? So when you click the table or range, first thing they want you to do is convert this data into a table. So you remember the size I was talking to you about is 2538. So just make sure this is 2538. Just make sure it's from A1 to I2538. Okay, do that. And you must tell them that your data actually has a header. So the header is like country, company name, contact name, order ID. Those are your header. Just remember you need to do that. Now, this is what the damage is done to this file. If you are doing this directly from your Excel file with the data, they will convert this information that you have into a table. That's what they are doing, you see, convert to table. So when you click OK, you notice that later your table is full of color. But now what you are doing is you are in another application called Power Query. Power Query Editor. It launches your Power Query. Okay, I'll wait for you. Have you uh, come to this screen? Just type done if you're already in Power Query. Yeah, good. Okay, so let me explain. Okay, go back and I close this one. I close this one. I say no, I discard. So how do you do is, okay, let me just undo this one. So the starting point is you can just click anywhere in any of this any text around here with a number. So just click anywhere. You don't have to highlight them. No, you just click in one of the cell that have a content. Then you just go to data from table orange. This one. Okay? Just click this. So the next thing, like I mentioned, it will tell you you need to turn this into a table before you can move on to Power Query. So my table has a header. So country, all these are your header. Just click OK. And there you are. You are in Power Query. Okay. Artini, is it okay for you? Oh, you say can go back. Of course can go back. Of course can go back to Excel. But what this Power Query do is that they are actually very bossy. Okay, I use the word bossy. You cannot continue to use Excel from now on. I repeat, you cannot use any of your Excel file from now on. Even if you have another file, Excel, you cannot use them. You'll notice that your computer will lag and your computer will not be able to function properly. So what's happening is, as soon as your Power Query editor is on, okay, it's on, then what must you do? Right? What you need to do? You need to complete whatever that you need to do here, and you have to close and load it into your Excel. Okay, so let me just delete this one. This is the problem just now. I delete it. Okay. So this is the one. Uh, okay. So everybody got this, huh? Okay, children. My data doesn't show all the ribbon at the top. Doesn't show. Uh, wait, let me get out again. I'm going to do this the third time now. You mean you don't have this at all? Did you click enable the data or something like that? There's a yellow color bar at the top. Once you click that, then you are able to see them. It's inside your data from table and range. No yellow bar. Are you in Excel? Are you- Sorry, I have to ask you. I have to find out from there. Are you in Excel? Yeah, you are using my file. I understand. Are you in Excel? Because you might be opening it from, okay, maybe you have a zip file. So if you have a zip file, you have to unzip it first. Okay, another option, another problem that you may have is assuming this three file is actually a zip folder. Okay, from HTML. You only see from HTML from text new database query. So your version is not the same as mine, lah. Huh? Maybe your Microsoft Excel is a legacy version, but do you see anything called new query, or do you have anything called from table, or you're using Mac? Okay, sorry, Mac got no Power Query. Yeah, you have to find another Windows version to do it. So now you should have told me now. Now, in Mac operating system, the for Excel for Mac does not come with Power Query. So I'm so sorry. Maybe you just watch lah. Huh? Okay. Now let me do this again. I think I repeated this twice just now, so this is my third time. Click anywhere, go to this. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who are using Mac, you will not be able to do this exercise lah. Okay, let me just take this away. Okay, so I'm going to call this one as my data. So I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it as database. Now, whether you change the name or not is not important. Rather than table 1, 2, 3, right? I just change it to something called database. So some of you say that 5 seconds. So I'm trying to do this within 5 seconds. Now, without the hiccup just now, I think WPS do have as well. If I'm not mistaken, you can try. I don't use WPS. Okay. So now this is an Excel class, right? So I use Excel. So sorry for those of you who are not using Excel. This is Excel class. Yeah, WPS is actually a China brand from Kingsoft. They are trying to come as close as possible, but not there. I'm not too sure whether everything is there or not because I don't use that. Okay, so 5 seconds. Let's do the count. I will repeat this again, no problem. I'll select country until order date. I hold down my shift and click. I right click this. I say I want to fill down all my data. So I want to fill down all the blank cell. So done. All these 5 columns are done. Then all I need to do is I go to any of this column now. I say I do not need the null. So I take away the null. Yeah, 5 seconds. Yeah, it's ready and we can use it already. Okay, so now I just want to show you the 5 second thing now, because some of you say 5 seconds. So let's do it together. What we actually want to do is we want to fill down this Argentina all the way down until the next country called Austria come in, and all the way down for Austria until we see Belgium. So we want them to fill down everything, right, as it is. We want them to fill it down so that we get the answer correct. Okay, so let's repeat it. I mean, not repeat. Let's do together. Just now I do it quickly because I just want to show you it is possible within 5 seconds. Okay, are you guys ready? So let's click country. Hold down your shift key, then click on order date. Now, for your information, in order to learn Power Query, right, it's actually a full 2 day session. But here I'm going to do it in less than half an hour. So yeah, don't expect full detail about what is this, what is that. Uh, I'm trying to tell you the solution now. Okay. Now remember, you are in the WhatsApp group. You can always ask later. You can watch this video and refresh your memory a little bit. So if there's anything you try not working, you can always ask in the WhatsApp. I will attend to you as soon as I see your question or when I'm available to answer your question. Okay, so have you highlighted country? Now after you click the country, the title, you hold on to your shift key and click order date. So what you do now is don't click in the middle. Shalini, yes, I already explained earlier that you will be getting your recording. I'm not holding anything back. All you need to do is just ask. Okay, so have you selected all the 5 columns? Now, don't click in the middle. Go to the header at the top, right click it, and tell them to fill down. You want to fill every single data down, like this Argentina, fill it down all the way before Austria. All these cactus cornidas, fill down, this patricio synsum, fill down, fill down. You want them to fill down. I'm doing it not just one column, 5 columns together. So go to fill and choose down. Done. You fill everything down. Okay, that's how simple it is. And if you look carefully, row number 4, 5, and 6 is a complete set of data. I know which country, which company, which contact name, the order number, the order ID, the order date, and what they buy. Okay, the product ID, the unit price, how much they actually pay for it, how many unit they buy, and the discount given. Okay. Then you take a look closely at this 5 or 4 column here. You notice that there's a lot of NULL, NULL. Now, all this NULL doesn't carry any data at all. Okay, nothing, right? Nothing. There's no data at all. Okay? We don't need all this NULL as well. Therefore, we do not want the NULL. We can go to any of this column, and let's just say I use the unit price. I click the drop down. Just like how you use in Excel the filter, you click that and you filter. So what do? You tell them, I don't want to see the NULL. By actually uncheck the NULL and you hit OK, you notice that all the NULL is removed. So now you have your data ready. Okay, now you have your data ready. So what's missing from here now is you know the unit price, you know the quantity, and you know the amount of discount provided to that particular customer. Now, here are all 0%, but some of them are given like 10%, 20%, 25%. They are given discount, but most of them are zero. That means no discount given for that particular product that they buy. Now, what I do not know in this database is how much is the sales. So in order to find the sales number, the sales amount, I need to take the unit price multiply with the quantity. Am I right? And then if I am giving them any discount, then I need to minus out the discount. So I need to add another column. Therefore, I go to the ribbon at the top here called, yes, I want to add a column. So I click add column. So when I add a column, I say, let's click a custom column because why custom column? Because it's not something that we can refer to, but we need to write a formula. The formula is unit price will multiply with quantity. So I click this All right. So let's start from the beginning. I say the new column name. I'm going to click this and I'm going to call this as sales amount. Yeah, just give them a name. Of course, if you don't like this name, you can change it later. But this is just to give us some assurance we are actually talking about the sales amount. So the formula, as I explained earlier, it will be what? The unit price will multiply with the quantity, correct? So I'll just take the unit price. I click insert. So the unit price is there, right? And you want to multiply them. So you put the asterisk, multiply. You want to multiply with what? With the quantity. Now, I show you that you click unit price and click insert, right? Another way to do that is you go to this quantity and you double click it. It will also insert it. If you don't want to click the button insert, you can just double click it, right? Then I'm going to add another item. Okay, this is the formula. It says that unit price will multiply with quantity. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to multiply it with, now, the, the thing is, for this column called discount, is the discount percentage given. Now, I cannot take this unit price, multiply with quantity and multiply with discount because that is the amount of discount that I'm going to get. Now, I'm not interested in the discount amount, but I'm interested in the sales amount. Therefore, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put 1 minus, 1 means 100% minus the discount. So assuming I'm giving 10%, right? Giving 10% discount. The 1 is 100% minus the 10%, then what's left is the 90%. So unit price times quantity times 90%. That will be my sales amount. So I put there 1 minus. So I'm going to copy this. Put the check. Okay. So just do this. Okay. So that is the formula. You take the unit price, you multiply with quantity, and you multiply with 1 minus discount. So like I said just now, example, this is a 10% discount. So 1 equivalent to 100. So 100 minus 10% equal to 90%. I just hit OK. Now I'm going to have a new column at the back here. And this new column that you see is actually 18 times 9. So it's 162, where I'm giving 0 discount, right? So it's 162. So let's take an easier one. Let's just say $12.50 times 20. So it's 250. Okay, so you just multiply that. Now, once this is done, one last step is you need to tell them that this particular column, the data, remember we talked about data type earlier? So I want you to change this one to decimal. Just tell them that this is actually a number. Make it the same as a unit price. Okay? Now, of course, you can use whole number, but whole number will only give you the whole number without decimal. So choose decimal for this. Okay, you guys, how do you get rid of the null? Yeah, I told you just now, go to any of this unit price, quantity, discount, right? Any one of them, just tell them to remove the NULL. I already removed the NULL, lah, so it's no longer there. Just untick the NULL, you remove it. Mutiara? Or should I call you Ashikin? So to get a new column, you just go to add column. Hasif, go to the add column and click custom column. So in the custom column, you write this formula. The formula I pasted in the chat. Wait, I didn't press. Right, okay. You just type the column name as sales amount and then you put in the formula. Okay, then you change the data type to decimal. So just click on the ABC123, the ABC123 and change it to decimal. The ABC123 is general. No, I don't want it to be general. I want it to be decimal. So this is the cleaning part. Now I'm showing you something very surface at the moment. It's just a very quick cleanup for this data. Now, once this is done, can I know if you guys are okay with this? Done already? Well, that is done. Okay, good. Okay, no Atira. Yes, good. All right, now this is what we're going to do. How can we conclude this? We go back to the home ribbon on the top. Go back to the home ribbon at the top. Right? So we are about to leave our Power Query. So I need you to click on this button, the one at the bottom. Don't click this one, don't click this one. Click this one. I want you to see the available option. That's why I asked you to click this one. So when you click the one with the drop down arrow, you have two choices here. This is your first time loading this into your Excel. So that's why you have choices. You have close and load, then the other one is close and load too. So if you say close and load, then they will load out this set of data that you are looking at now into another worksheet. Let's try that. Close and load. So this is your original sales 2021 to 2022. Then they give you another worksheet. Now remember, I rename it as database. There you go. It's called database. They already clean it up for you. And this is how they look like. Remember, I told you the damage done to your original data? Your original data now is also a table like this. You cannot keep the original state of your data. You have to convert it if you do it from here. Okay, but if you actually do it from an external file, the raw data, the format, everything will retain. However, if you are doing it directly on the file, that's the end result. It will look like this. And you cannot delete. The moment you delete, this is connected and it will be refreshed. Uh, so far, so good. You still have the now? Don't worry, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Can I check if everybody have loaded this thing? Sheet one is okay. No problem. Now, a lot of us will have this curiosity. Hey, how do we go back to the Power Query? Can? How to go back to the Power Query? Now, do you notice that after you loaded this particular set of data, on your right-hand side, there's something called query and connection. They appear automatically. Right? They appear automatic, query and connection. Now, if you feel that this is annoying and you click the X, that's fine. Right? You can get it back by going back to the data and you notice down here, query and connection. You can turn it back on. Okay. Now, this is your way home to Power Query. This is how you go back to Power Query. So how do you do this? Is you look at the query and connection. You want to go back to Power Query, just double click it. And now you are back in Power Query. Okay. So Marcus, you say you still have the now. Look where is the now and go to filter it. If did you go through the steps like I say, fill down all this, fill down. So you right click, you say fill down. Okay. Then the second step is you go to any of this last four column, go to the drop down and tell them you don't want the now. And remove the now for you. So they will remove the now. Now, since mine is already removed, so it's not there anymore. So that's how you come back to Power Query, right? So now, how do you get out? Go back the same way over here. Yeah. Now, let's click on this one the second time. Come here. You notice now you are only given one choice. You don't have two choices now. The close and load tool doesn't work anymore. Right? So let's click close and load. Now you are back to your Excel again. Here you go. So with this, now I can generate reports. So I'm just going to do a very quick report over here. I want to know what are my total sales amount per country. Okay, so I just click anywhere in this data. I go to insert pivot table. Insert pivot table. I repeat, click anywhere in your database. Just click anywhere, no highlighting, no selection involved. Then go to the insert ribbon, and click on this button here, pivot table. So what do you do is you tell them, please put it into existing sheet. Don't put it into a new worksheet. Location, you just tell them, okay, let's put it here. And then hit OK. There you go. Okay, so what am I going to do is I'm going to take the country and I'll put it inside the row. I'll take the sales amount. I'll put it inside the value. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'll put it, just look for the word row, put the country in there. Look for the value, put the sales amount in there. There you go. This is my report. No, no, don't remove the null from country. I didn't mention remove the null from country. I said remove the null based on unit price and so on. No, it's not correct, Marcus. Now let me help Marcus for a while. Everybody, just hold on. Marcus, can you go back to your query and connection? Just go back to your Power Query. Are you here? Marcus, are you there? Come back to this Power Query. No, no, no. Hold on. Are you in your Power Query now? Yes. Now you can unmute and talk to me. I think better waiting than you're waiting for your chat. You can unmute yourself and talk to me. I think better, right? Rather than
Yeah.
I wait for you in the chat. Okay. Now I want you to look at the right hand side. Do you see this thing called applied steps in your
Uh,
Power Query?
is that how to go to that setting?
Are you in Power Query
Yes.
or are you in Excel? You are in Power
In
Query, right?
yeah.
So on the right hand side, you should have this query setting.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Maybe yes.
Okay, whatever you have done are all recorded here on. Whatever that you have done just now is all recorded here. So I want you to do me a favor. Can you remove all your steps, right? All your steps here until here. That means if you see the word source and change type, don't delete them. Remove. So how do you remove? You click the X. Remove, 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 remove. So if I don't know how many steps you have there, just remove. Until you see the change type, you don't remove. So your screen should look like this now.
Only have source change that filter row.
Don't delete that. Source and change type, don't delete. Just make sure it's fill the whatever step before that you remove them. Sorry, guys, you just wait for a while. This should be quite fast. Marcus, give me some reaction. Have you removed all the steps before, or say the step that
I
is
just
after the change type?
I just click
Just click the
the
X.
I just take the country and then the now I just take back and then my settings only show three.
No, 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 no. Follow what I say here. Remove all the steps after the change type. Just keep source and change type. The rest you remove. We start from the beginning. Because I don't want to repair step by step lah. I want you to remove and start all over. I only have 4 steps, you know. How many steps do you have?
Only three.
So make sure you remove all. After the change type, you remove. After, you only keep source and change type. How do you remove? You click the X. Are you
Okay.
with me?
Yes.
Okay, now, once you are here, then you select country, shift click until order date. Just make sure you do all this. You select these 5 columns. You click on the header, no? Click on the header, hold down your shift, click order date.
Okay.
You right click on the header, go to fill down. Boleh.
Uh, yeah, got it. Fill.
So it looks like this now.
What
Did you see fill down?
is
Did you see that your screen is like mine already?
no, my one is fill down or up only. Doesn't have the now
Down lah, fill down lah.
no down. Oh,
I
okay.
ask you to right click on the header, go to fill, that is down.
Okay, down only.
Down already. Then you should get this one. You should get this one, right?
Yes.
Your screen now is
Yes.
like me lah. Okay, then how to take away the null? I ask you to focus on product ID, unit price, quantity, and product, not in front. The last 4 column. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, you can choose any of the last 4 column, then go for this button here. This is called filter, by the way. Called filter. You click this arrow and you tell them, I don't want to see the null. So you untick the null. Untick the null. Can you do that?
Already until already.
Then click OK lah. Okay, so it should look like this now.
Yeah.
Very easy already lah. So
Yeah.
now go to add column at the top here in the ribbon, add column, then
Column.
click custom column. Okay, click custom column. If you click the custom column, you should get this screen here.
Yeah.
Okay, you put in the formula and the title, the header here, sales amount, and then you put in the formula. So how you put in the formula is either you click, then you insert, or you double click them. It should come in. So let me zoom in for you to see the formula. First, you put in the
Yes.
unit price, multiply with quantity, multiply with 1 minus discount. In bracket, in the normal bracket. Now after that, you hit OK. That's it. So you will notice that you have added another column at the back called sales amount. So go to this on the left-hand side now. Change this ABC123. It's ABC123 by default. You change it to decimal. Just click it. Just click it. then you will notice you have a choice of other format. So I just want you to change it to decimal. That's it. Lah. Then you close and
Okay.
close. Just click close and go. Okay, now you are back on track. The rest of you, have you got your pivot table? Now that you know how to get the report out already, correct? Now the report doesn't give you the formatting in the right format. So just highlight all the number, go back to your normal Excel knowledge, just put a comma style. So now it's done nicely for you. You can only do the comma style when your sales amount column data type is a decimal just now. If it's a text, they won't be able to sum for you. Okay? Dia mesti nombor. Kalau dia bukan nombor, no way. No way they will be able to uh, calculate it for you. I see some of you are having challenges with the internet connection. You just keep going in and out. So can I have some reaction? Have you got your pivot table? Varda, thank you. Yeah. So that's how easy you clean up the data. So imagine the data was so ridiculously incomplete, but we have to do it. We clean it up within just a few seconds. So if I don't have to keep repeating myself just now, I do it quietly. I believe it's just only a few seconds, maybe 3 to 4 seconds, I'm done. Then I just do my report. So within that short period of time, I already generated this report. That is how fast it should do. So what you need to do, okay, Marcus, you just click anywhere in your data. Do you have your data now? The one that you loaded out? Now just go to Insert Pivot Table. Insert Pivot Table. Right. So once you get your Insert Pivot Table, you should get your screen with Pivot Table. So I need you to look for on your screen, look for row, look for value. Okay, look for row. Put the country inside your row, and then put the sales amount inside the value. Take the country, put inside the row, put the sales amount inside the value.
But I click data but doesn't have the pivot table option.
Oh, your destination, your destination, you didn't tell them where. Okay, so over here, all right, when you go to the pivot table, all right, you tell them existing, you tell them here. Let's just say you want to put it here. You just tell them where, because you didn't tell them where you want to put. How do they know where you want your pivot table, right? Make sure
I
it's
did it.
existing worksheet. Then
Yeah.
don't overlap the data. Go somewhere empty.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now that is our first exercise, first exercise, and um, this is the introduction of how the Power Query helps you to clean up the data. Okay. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of extra bonus here. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, from a different file. Now you don't have to follow, but I'm just going to close this file. Then I'm not going to save. Okay, don't follow, don't follow me. I just want you to watch. It's actually the same thing, but we are doing it in a different environment. So I close this. So remember, the file is called data transformation using Power Query. It's the second file, file number 2. So I'm going to start with my blank Excel file. So this is a blank workbook, the blank workbook. So I do not want to mess with my original database. So my original database is this file. I didn't save just now, so You notice that this is the original data. Sales 2001, 2002. This is the data. Okay, I must make sure this is not open. This has to be closed. Then what I need to do now is I go to data. Okay, I put in A1 here. Then I say, I cannot do this thing called from table anymore. Any idea why? The data is not here, ma. How do you be from this, right? So I have to go to get data from file from my Excel file. Okay, from my Excel file. So I just go to my folder number 2 and I import them. So I'm connecting my Excel file to an external file. I no longer use the existing database to do my work. So I go to this guy. I just click transform. Remember the file name is called, the worksheet is sales 2021, 2022. Sorry, 2001, 2002. So I just click transform. The next thing you know is they will load this. You are trying out everything, Marcus. I wouldn't say it's wrong, but if that's what you want. For me, just now, I only show country and sales amount, but I guess you put the whole thing inside there. No, you take it out, untick it, and just country in row, value, you put sales amount. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your report anyway. Okay, so now come back to my screen. You stop doing first, Marcus. You just observe first. Does this look familiar to you, guys? It's the same, right? So how do we do it? Can somebody guide me? Can I get let's just say any one of you, let's say, let me call out a name. Uh Wada, are you there, Wada? So you unmute, you tell me the steps. What should I do here? You unmute yourself. Or don't have mic. Okay, then you type. What should I do now? Click country and shift click until order ID. Okay, it's until order date, until order date. Then I just right click and fill down. Now, isn't it exactly the same like how I do it just now? It's just that in a different setting, right? The different setting is I am in the blank file and I connect to my database and I'm doing everything the same. So see, I'm repeating this now. Okay, then I tell them add column. So I'm going to call this one as my sales amount. So the formula is going to be quantity multiply with, sorry, unit price multiply with quantity multiply with 1 minus discount. Then I close bracket. Okay, so once this is done, the formula, I just click OK. There you go. I add a new column and I change this one to decimal. This is ready. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close and load. Now we have already tried close and load. We already tried close and load. But this time I want to try close and load too. Close and load to. Now, if I go to the close and load to, now I have a choice of what I want to do with my data that I connected. So by default, it's a table. I think you have seen the table just now already, right? So this time I do not want to load my table. So I only want to create my report. So I just put pivot table report. Lah. Now, since this worksheet is empty, so I just say existing worksheet A1. Lah. Okay, existing worksheet A1. Now, if you don't want to start with A1, then you tell them no lah. I start with C6 lah. I leave it to you lah. This is where you want to put them. So once I hit OK, I can still build my report as it is. So all I need to do is just take the country, put it into the row. Now, Marcus, look at this country, put inside the row, and then you put the sales amount inside the value. That's all. You still get the same report without seeing the data. Everybody understand what I'm trying to do here? Do you notice that this file that I'm using now, the report, does not contain the source data? So what I'm trying to tell you is the file report that you are building now is going to be smaller because it does not contain the source data. So if your source data is 200,000 row, can you imagine how big the file size is going to be? So you put your source data somewhere else, leave it there, don't touch. You just connect to the data, clean it up, and prepare your report. Even if you clean it up, you don't even need to load it. You can have your report immediately. Okay? So the good news is, if there's anything that change in the source data, all you need to do is just right click and refresh. The data will be there. Okay, so I want you to observe Argentina. So I copy, I paste this number at the side. Okay. Everybody look. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. The original value is 35,184.55. Okay, Argentina. So if I go to my, so let me save this one first. Save as. So I call this one as report. I put it into the folder, the same folder. So remember, I'm going to call it report and I click save. Right? So remember, this is 3518455. So I close this file. Now, obviously, this is the real steps. The data is not there one. So now we go into this source of data. Okay. Instead of buying 9 items, this is from Argentina, right? This is from Argentina. To make it look obvious, instead of 9, I put there 900. 900. So you imagine it was the amount just now. Right now, it's going to be 900. So there are some changes here. And the price is not 18, but 50. So the number will jump significantly, right? So I'm going to close and save the file. So now I open up my report. Okay. So all I need to do is right click, refresh. 80,000 now. It's no longer 35,000. So my source data is my source data. If I have my colleague, the person who manage the raw data, let them manage the raw data. Don't disturb them. Let them do their work. And you, on the other hand, you can generate a report without telling them what to do. They just do, they just maintain the file as they normally do. Don't interfere with their work, but you are able to get that report or that particular data into a report like now by just refresh. Just refresh. Okay. Now that depends on how you do it, Martini. If you are actually getting the file from your file server, from your SharePoint, yeah. So right now we are doing everything from our local computer. So if your data is in the SharePoint folder or a file server folder, when you actually look for this thing, right? Data from file, Excel. Now I'm getting from my local computer. So if you are getting it from your file server, you go to your G drive lah, F drive lah, whatever drive that you have, okay? Go to that drive and connect to that file. Okay, so the person who actually managed that database can continue to do their database, but you are connected to it. Just make sure one thing, okay? Just make sure one thing, you have the permission to go to that folder. If you don't have permission to go to the folder, then it is impossible for you to reach that folder. Of course, normally this kind of situation is you are from the same department. Now, don't tell me you are from the sales department. You want to access to the file that is from the HR department. That doesn't work, all right? Only people from sales department can access to the sales department database, HR to HR. So HR cannot access to sales, HR cannot access to finance. So every department will not let any other department access to their database. So you see the previous number was 85,000, now it's 80,000. No, don't use OneDrive. Don't use OneDrive. Okay, don't use OneDrive. If can lah, don't use OneDrive. If possible, go and put it into your SharePoint folder or SharePoint list. You put it inside there. So anyway, whatever you put inside the SharePoint, right, is also inside your OneDrive. But that is for your work OneDrive. OneDrive, don't use your personal OneDrive. There will be a lot of connection problem, especially when you move on to another computer that doesn't have the connection, then everything won't work. Okay? You can't really send the file. So why not use your company OneDrive? And normally we don't call it company OneDrive, we call it SharePoint. Let me see the question. No, Google Sheet, no. If you want to use Google Sheet, you have to write formula called query. The function called query. It's a formula. It's not a feature like this one. No, don't have. Hey, Artini, no, Google Sheet out of the league. Power Query is only in Microsoft Excel and Power BI. Yes, if the data is inserted at the bottom, new data, yes, it will be included as well. You just have to refresh. Okay, let's do that. You see, now we have all these countries. Do we have Malaysia in here? We don't. So let me just close this guy, save it. So I go back to my source. I'm going to add in the country called Malaysia. Okay, so I'm going to copy. So I'm going to copy this Argentina data up to here. Okay, copy. And I go all the way to the bottom. And I paste it here. So I change this to Malaysia. All right, cool. Malaysia, right? Then I save the file. So remember, I added the data right below it. I close this guy. So I go back to my report. Now that's just to answer Radha your question. Now let's double check here first. Do we have Malaysia? We don't have Malaysia. So I right click, refresh. I should get 80,022.55. Yes, Malaysia is down here. So what do you think? Is this powerful? Okay. So I just want you to understand the power of using the tools in Microsoft Excel. Now, for those of you who are asking me about WPS, Sheets, and many more, right? The answer is no, cannot be done. There is no Power Query in those software. It's Excel or Power BI. After all, I'm actually telling you Excel for real work, It's Excel lah. I'm actually showing you Excel. I don't work for Microsoft, by the way. That's why I didn't use the word Microsoft. I use Excel. Okay.
How about
So
the
this is
old
real
Excel?
power. Yes, only Excel. Only Excel.
If old Excel can do Power Query, right?
Old Excel, depending on how old, if it's too old, then cannot. Right? if you are using anything below 2016, Excel 2016, then no, it has to be after 2016. That means 2019, 2021, 2024, or 365. Then you get the power.
If open office is different, right?
365 is the latest. Lah. They always get the updated.
I say open office different
No, no, that
software like
one, no. Anything other than Excel, no. Make it clear to you, lah. It has to be Excel. Anything other than Excel, no. Google Drive, no. Hatini, no. Now you must understand, the reason why I say all this cannot, right? If let's say your Google Drive, even though you give the sharing permission, the connection will break. And if you are logging using a different user and ID, and it will break. Therefore, it is not advisable and it's not safe. Data is vulnerable for people to copy out. Okay, but if you put it into your SharePoint, only within your organization can go for it. So don't use OneDrive. OneDrive public is not safe. OneDrive personal is not safe, but OneDrive company, which is your SharePoint, is safe. So don't let your data leak out unnecessarily. We are talking about data uh, security. Make sure you are working on your own company data. So don't do all that, if possible. No, Sakti, 2014 don't have. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about that. In Power Query, it was actually long time ago. But for version 2013 and 16, you need to install separately. You need to install, you have to go to Microsoft, download it and install. However, that's the bad news. The installation file that they give you in Microsoft is outdated. And Microsoft already announced that they are not going to update the installer. So whatever you install is also going to be old version and it's going to have a lot of hiccups. Okay, so 2021, no problem. Okay, if you're having Office 2021, good. In like Wada mentioned just now, mantap, can, no problem. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of demo. I will do the demo, then I will ask you to give it a try. Okay, now if you remember just now, we have the first file. We have this thing called data consolidate. So I want to connect to this data and clean it up so that it become a structural table. Then I will move on to demonstrate this as well. Okay, so I want to connect. Okay, I want to connect to this file. The file is number one. Remember this file? Number one, understanding data and problem done. So I come here, I go to data, get data from Excel file. I go to the folder where I have the file. I just tell them I'm going to for the number one. This file, the number one. So I hit import. So in this particular file, understanding the data, it comes with a few worksheets, right? You see, it comes with a few worksheets over here. So the one that I want to use is this one. The rest I'm not going to use, I'm going to use. I'm going to click this guy, and then I'm going to click transform. So I'm connected to the first file, worksheet number 3. There you go. They are here. So remember the worksheet name is called consolidated range. So this is called consolidated range. So this data now is far more complicated than the earlier file that you see. That file that you see looks very complicated, but then it's very easy to fix. But this is a little bit more complicated. Okay. So the end result that we want is we want to see country, We want to see the year. But if you look carefully, the year and the country is sharing the same column. That's one problem. The second problem is this title suddenly went up to the top as a header, where this is not supposed to be a header. You get what I mean? So we must tell them, hey, you come down, you don't go up the stage. Come down. Okay, so how are we going to ask them to come down? We're going to do that shortly. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. We have something like this. Right. So in Power Query, okay, everybody watch my demo first. Don't do don't do yet. Now, in Power Query, they the newer Power Query they are trying to be smart. They're trying to be smart, so they actually automate these two steps for you. Okay, now let me go through with you. This apply step. If I click on source, that's the first thing that you see just now. And I actually click consolidated range. So once I click consolidated range, they came in like that. Okay. So do you notice that originally the YR 2013 is not up there? But because of the step, automated step, they push this one up. Then they change the file type. They change the type. So what I don't want to see is the last two steps. I want to keep until navigation. This is good enough. So I will go to the change type, remove that. I put the promoted header, I remove that. So now you notice my header, this is no longer up there just now. I tell them, hey, you come down. So I remove the step so that it is clean. Right? Clean already. Okay, now, number two, I'm planning to split the year 2013, 14, and 15 as a separate column. As a separate column. So now we have to put on our logical mind. So remember, this is what we want. This is what we want. So what do? We check other columns here. Do you notice that this is NULL? This one also NULL. This one also NULL. Okay, as long as it is year, there's a NULL. The rest of them is not NULL. NULL means blank lah. So I can tell them, hey Excel, this Power Query, can you do this for me? If my column 2 shows NULL, can you please go to column 1 and take out this data? You get what I'm trying to say? If this column 2 is NULL, take out the value in column 1. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do now. So I need to add a column. I cannot change this column. So I'm going to add a column. In this case, I'm going to tell them to use something called conditional column. Now, in my previous exercise, I used custom column. Now I'm going to use conditional column. So this column, I'm going to call it as year. Now, even if I put a title here, it doesn't mean anything. We're going to change it later anyway. So the condition is if, now what did I say just now? If my column 2, so if my column 2 is equal to null, N-U-L-L. Now the spelling that you type here has to be the exact same spelling. Don't go and type that capital letter, then it will not match. It has to be the exact NULL small letter. So you say, if my condition, so if my column number 2 is N equal to NULL, then the what? Remember I say, take the information from column 1. So I tell them, okay, come here, select a column, and I tell them, please select column 1. Tell them to take the value that is in column 1. So that's what I'm going to do. See, by the time I click OK now, I will be given a new column already, and the column is called year. Okay, so let me just bring this to the front. I right-click this, move to beginning. Now, of course, if you want to drag this all the way to the front, also can lah. But I'm going to put to beginning, then it comes all the way to the beginning. Now you can see the year already. However, below it, you have null. So I just need you to right click and fill down, fill it down. You get the idea what I'm trying to do? Okay, let me repeat. This was the original. This is the original. Then I go to the conditional column. I tell them if my column 2 is equal to NULL, then you select a column. Select don't enter value. If you enter value, then all of them are the same. So you select the information from which column. Select a column and you tell them column number 1. So let's look through this. If the column 2 is null, then take up the YR 2013. So they come down here now, so they take up now. They come down now, they take up the year. Now it's okay lah. Now means now lah, doesn't matter lah. I just want to take whatever that is NULL in column 2, take out the column 1. So once I hit OK, I get something like this at the back. I reorder now. Over here, they are giving me the column at the back. So I tell them right click the year. I say move to the beginning. So by doing that, this column now is at the front, in front here. Okay, then I tell them, please fill down for me. So that's the step that I'm doing. But now I just repeated only. Is it okay already? Now, like I said, don't do first. Later you try. Or if you cannot do it, also never mind. Remember, this is recorded. I will send you the recording. You can watch the recording and do it again. No issue. So, what's the next step? Because I need this to be something that I can use for my reporting, right? Now, at the moment, this is not something really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the NULL. That means I don't need this row. This row I don't need. These 2 row, I don't need it as well. 8 and 9, I don't need it. I don't need the 16, 17, 18. I don't need all this NULL. So I go to column 2, 3, 4, any one of this column. Let's say column 5. I just tell them, can you please take away the noun? Cantik already lah. Okay. So I cannot use the header called column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So I need to make this row number 1 to become my header. I need to tell them, hey, can you please promote this row number 1 so that it becomes the header at the top. So let's go to the home ribbon up here and tell them use first row as header. So you don't have to highlight one. You just tell them come here under transform, use the first row as your header. So I'm actually telling it, hey, use the first row and turn it into a header. So I just click this guy, it will go up already. You see that? Whatever in the first row just now, turn into a header at the top. Okay. They become a header. Now, since I already have the header January, February, March, and so on, do I need this header again in row number 6 and row number 12? No, right? So how can I get rid of them? So let's just say I go to February. I just filter out the February. Ta-da! Clean up already. Okay, so do you notice that I'm using the same thing to do, like filter for different situation? I'm using the same thing, filter. I ask you to fill down. So those are the feature that they have in Power Query. Then the new thing you saw just now was to use the conditional column to pull out the data. And then after that, it filter out. Move it to the front and fill down. Yeah, we need to change this one to just double click this, then we just that year. That's why I say during the portion where we click this, I told you to put year, right? Now it's irrelevant one because either after that it will become wrong anyway. So right now, at the last step, I already changed it to year. Okay. So once this is done, then you click year and country. I'm going to show you something cool here. Okay. Now you notice we have January to December. So for year 2013, Canada, I want to show my 12 months data, right, from top to bottom and then the value. I don't want to show it across at it. What you see at the moment, this is a pivoted report. I want to reverse engineer it. So I selected my year and country, both. So I hold down my control to select them. Then I right click this. I'll tell them, please unpivot the other column because this is actually a pivoted report. So I just go to unpivot other column. So now you see, year 2013 Canada, I have January to December. I just switch them. There you go. So all I need to do is just change this one to month, and then change this one to sales amount. Sales amount. So I just remember, change this to decimal. That's it. So now I am actually showing you how to reverse engineer a pivoted report into a data. Just reverse engineering. Okay? If someone give you this kind of data and you want to extend extend this data to something else, so that you can generate more reports out of it, so you need to reverse engineer it and then use it for your reporting. Okay. So once this is done, I just close and load to. Again, I'm not going to load the data out. I'm just going to use a pivot table. Okay, existing worksheet here, the blank one, sheet 2. Right. So I take the country in the row, I put the sales amount in the value. That's the report that we generated. Wait, let me just go to the home and put the comma stuff. So from the report that looks like this, the data are not report, the data that looks like this, right? So how can you actually generate based on all this, right? So I close this guy. Uh, this one don't say. Okay, this guy. Then I take the year, I put it in column. Now I can see by year. If I want to put year down here, so I got year followed by Canada. I can put my country on top here. I can play around with it. Play around with it. So if I want my country, then year, I can do that as well. So now my reporting become a lot more flexible compared to the original data that I have. You guys get it? So let me put the year on top here. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to close this one. Okay. I want to show you another magic. Sorry, wrong file. Wrong file. This file. So I'm going to take this data. Now, of course, I'm not going to type the number lah. So you will notice that 2015 and 2016 will have the same amount of value lah. Because I just copy and paste down only ma. Then I save. See, I copy, I add another year, 2016. I save, then I close it. Okay. So I go to my report, I open this. Okay, so all I need to do is just, now you see, my report is until 2015. But remember, I added 2016 just now. So I just right click, refresh. Now you will notice my 2016 will appear here. Just like that. Just give a few seconds for them to refresh. Now, do you need to clean up the data the second time? No. Like I mentioned just now, I repeat, whoever prepared the report don't disturb their workflow. They are very happy doing it that way already. And so just don't go and disturb them and tell them, no, do like that, no, do that, no, do that, no, that kind of thing. No, don't disturb them. Don't disturb the way they work. All you actually want is their data. So just tell them, okay, lah, you just add on at the bottom. Lah, whenever you have new data, you just add on at the bottom. Guess what? For you, you don't really need to do much. Just right click, refresh, and the new data will be updated. What do you guys think? Do you like it? So I'm introducing the concept to all of you, how Power Query can be so powerful in transforming your data.
Beres.
Apa dia Hakimi? Hakiman, sorry. Okay, you're not talking to me, right? I mute you. Right. So now the time now is 11 o'clock, 11:05 by the way. We're going to take five. Yes, we're going to give you 5 minutes. Now you have been together with me listening to this old man talk for 2 hours already. So I think all of us deserve a short break. Okay, you might need to run to the washroom and so on. So please do that. We have 15 minutes break. Is it okay for all of you? 15 minutes, huh? Yeah, you can load in as many devices as you want. You can have one tablet and then one computer so that you can watch both. Huh? Don't use your phone, very hard to see one. Yeah, unless you have a really big phone that dual screen one. If not, you can log in using your tablet and your computer so that you can watch in your tablet. You can do it in your computer. Okay, so get yourself ready. Now, when you come back from your break, we're going to take a group photo. So I need you guys. So prepare yourself. For those ladies want to go and powder first before you take the photo, go ahead. You have this 15 minutes to do it. Then come back and we'll take a group photo. Okay. Now for the guys, maybe you want to put on some clothes before we take the photo. Don't come into the photo and scare everybody off. Okay. So I'll see you at about 11:20, 15 minutes from now. Okay, you can continue to ask your question in the chat, so no problem. I will turn off my camera first. We'll see you shortly. Manina, are you there? You I saw your message. You say repeat on the steps on after promote, right? So yeah. So this is the one that I tell you to promote. So after you promote, okay, after you promote, kan you boleh nampak, okay, after you promote, you sudah naikkan, you sudah naikkan February kan. So you don't need this February kan. Tak perlu, ini pun tak perlu kan. So macam mana nak hilangkan dia? Filter lah. So you filter. Come here, you tell them I don't want the February. So filter, bila you filter dia hilang kan. Now selepas tu, okay, you can rename the column. So like somebody pointed out, just double click, tukar nama sajalah. Now selepas tu, you select year and country. Boleh ikut tak? Mina? Is it too fast for you? Uh, uh, Boleh kan? Kita tukar nama sahaja, Mak. Okay. So, kamu klik year, hold down control dan klik country. Ini adalah kolom yang kita nak tetapkan. Okay. Then, the January, February, March, kita nak turunkan dia. Okay. So, I stop the recording first.